Hi, we are going to learn all features of Casio FX-83GTCW and FX-85CW calculators. This is a full video manual. Nothing is left out. Every feature of this calculator is clearly explained. Every key press step is shown on the screen so you can follow up with me. Equations and variables are shown on the screen with solution using this calculator. In some cases, math concepts are explained with further examples. After watching this video, you can use the chapters to jump to different sections. On the larger screen, click on this area of the player. You will see the menu when you touch it, so you can see all the chapters. Touch to move to that section of the video. Hi, welcome to a full manual of this Casio FX-83CW and Casio FX-85CW. Both of these are exactly the same. FX-85CW has only the solar cell. It comes with this nice protective case where you can just hold and press, it will be removed, and you can insert it the bottom first and press it. It will be locked. When you're using it, you just put it so that case is also held together. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it if I need to press the bottom button, so I'm just going to move it or refer to the name I will show you. This is a full manual for Casio FX-83CW and for Casio FX-85CW. Both of these are class with calculators. On the left you see that is 83CW. On the right, that's 85CW. And because of the solar panel because of the solar cell, we are recognizing it. FX-85CW also is offered in these beautiful colors that you can select. So enjoy and don't forget to subscribe. Let's have a look at the important keys. I'm going to rotate it so you can see it on the screen. We have power on, we have home key up and down. That's for the page. These are 4 arrow keys with the OK. And then the most important key is AC, or all clear. And if I press 6, this is a delete key, so you can go 1 space back and delete it. And the last important K is EXE. We don't have equal sign, so it has been replaced with EXE. To power it up, we press this button, it will be turned on. We have a shift key. This blue is called shift. To power it off, we press this shift and then AC, or this all clear button here. The screen will turn off. If you don't do any activity in 10 or 60 minutes, it will turn off where you can set it the time. Now let's power it on again. This is the settings key here. And let's initialize our calculator so we are all on the same page, because you might have changed something. So let's press this button and then go once, twice down, and then OK, and then twice, once, twice. Go to initialize and OK, and then press OK again. At the end, we press this XE here, this button. Now to understand the keys, we have a 4-direction arrow keys where you can up, right, down, or left. And then also we have OK button at the middle. This is page up or page down, and depending on the function that you're using, the function of this will change, which we are going to learn. And the most important aspect of this calculator is that XE and this OK and XE are exactly the same in most cases. So when I say press equal or press OK, so keep that in mind, because that's our convention in this video. The keys have a multiple function. The label that is on the key will act as it is, but we have it top left of them with a color blue. All these extra characters or letters, for example, the key 7 has PI, so if you press it like that, it will be 7. But if you want to use PI for PI, we need to press the shift because it's the same color as the PI, so I'm pressing shift and 7, and you will see PI appears. Every time you press shift, you will see the S on the screen, so you know it has been pressed. From now on, pay attention to the blue color. Anytime you need any of this functionality, we press Shift, that refers to blue. When you see this icon on the screen, this is about math and math out, which I'm going to show you, so the result will be shown like this. Or you can enter your equation like that. And if you have math and decimal out, we are going to show you later on, the result will be shown either like this or like this format, depending on the setting, which I'm going to show you. If you see D on the screen, it refers to the angle unit degree radian on gradient, for example, at this spot and here. And if you see fix, this one refers to the fixed number of decimal points, which I'm going to show you. If you see E here, then it means engineering. If you see the sign on this corner, that is referring to solar, which means the calculator is energized by the light, so it applies only to FX-85. If you see these two arrows, it means we have more result up and down. Let's have a look at the apps of this calculator. They use the word apps because they are getting famous now. We press Home key. This is our Home key. Press Home key. Once we press Home key, we have Calculate. We see this icon, which is for general calculation. Then we have a statistical calculation if I go to the right, and then we can go with the arrow left and right. And this is table, and then I can come down, go to the left, that's ratio. In here, also I can press right. So it moves to the next row, and then we have math box. In the math box, you can do a coin toss, dice roll, circle, line number, which you are going to see them all. To select any of these options, move the cursor and press OK. If you stuck on the screen, always press All Clear or Xe to exit from the screen. Now let's have a look at the menus. I'm going to show you some stuff. Do not try them, just watch. I will tell you step by step later. If I'm going on calculator settings and then input output, we will see that we have math in, math out. These are the value that you can enter. Then when you select math in, math out, you can enter information like this, and you will see it like this. So that's math in, math out. But then we have math in decimal out. If you select the math in decimal out, depending on the format, now normal one, it will show it like this. And if you have normal 2 selected, the information will be displayed like that. And then we have line in, line out here. When you select line in, line out, the information 1/200 will be entered like this, and the result will be like this. And if you are selecting the number format in terms of normal 2, it will be displayed like that. Now I'm pressing All Clear or AC. Let's press Settings. And then System Setting. If I go down, you see contrast. If I go to the right or press, okay, we can set the contrast of the screen using these 2 arrows. I can go to the left, you see it become light. Go to the right, it become darker. So depending on your preference, you can set it. And at the end, we press a C or All Clear to exit. If you cannot set the contrast, if you go left or right, it means the battery is drained, which means the battery needs to be replaced. Now let's reset the calculator again. Together, press Settings. Go down, Reset, go down twice, Initialize. Yes, and then OK, or EXE to exit. Now we are going to do some stuff together. Let's go to Calculator Setting. Setting, and then Input Output. You can go to the right or press. Okay, that's fine, and let's select Math in, Math out. If Math Out is selected, we press OK. And all clear. Now we're going to do simple 1/200 like this one divided by 200. This is a button. I'm pressing 1 and then this button. The cursor moves below 200 and I'm pressing EXE now, or equal sign. Or equal sign, and as you can see, the information is displayed as it is. Because we didn't do any calculation now, if I go to Settings, Calc Settings, Input Output, and in this time if we select Decimal Out, I'm going down Decimal Out. Okay, and all clear. Now if I do 1/200 and press equal, I'm getting 0.005. Now let's go to the settings, Calc Setting. So now I'm going to do all screen at once because we have already learned it in previous steps. And then come down to the number format, press OK, and come down to normal, press OK, and on this screen, select Norm 1. Already selected, I'm pressing OK, and then all clear. Now if I do 1 divided by 200 or 1/200, the result is shown like that. Using number format, we can set the number format 1. Let's go to Settings, Calc Settings, Number Format, Normal, and that's Normal 1, all clear. Now if we do 1 divided by 6, 1 divided by 6, this is the answer that we are getting. And pay attention, if we do 1 divided by 100 by 200, we are getting something like that. So the result is different. Why? Because we have a limitation here. Now let's go to number 2 format, number 2. Settings, Calc, Settings, Number Format, Norm, and then Norm 2. All clear. Now if I do 1 divided by 200, we are getting this value. Proper decimal value. Now to understand it better, let's go to Settings, Calc Setting, Input Output. And I'm setting it to math in decimal, so the whole point is decimal. All clear? Again, let's go to Number Format Settings, Calc Setting, Number Format, and then select Norm, and then Norm 1, all clear. Now this is about absolute value of x. Your number that you are entering must be smaller than 10 to the power of -2, and it must be greater than, so it means that if the number is smaller than this number 10 to the power -2 and greater than 10 to the power 10, it will be displayed as exponential to illustrate it. In this case, if the number is smaller than this, let's do 1 divided by 4. Because the number is not smaller, we see the decimal, and 1 divided by 200, however. Because this is smaller, it is shown. This was greater, it was not shown, in terms of exponential. And then 1 divided by 6, because this is, as you can see, is greater than this value. It is shown and in decimal point. Let's test this. 1 times 10 to the 5 it shows. 1 times 10 to the power 9, it shows all the digits properly. But if I have 1 times 10 to the 10, because it is above this value, it is shown in terms of exponential. Now I'm using this different Casio calculator to test this. Let's test this and then test this value. Now let's see if this is smaller than x. So 1 divided by 4, and then I'm using Shift verify if our number is smaller than number 4. then 10 to the power minus 2, we see it is false because it's false. We don't see the exponent. Now let's do it again. 1 divided by 4. So we don't see exponent. It's all about exponent. But if I do 200, 1 divided by 200, and then alpha verify if this number is smaller than, so I'm pressing 4. (10 to the power minus 2). You see, this is true, because it's true. We see 1 divided by 200 as exponent. In norm to the values are different. So your number, if the number is smaller than 10 to the power minus 9, and it's greater than 10 to the power minus 9, it will be displayed as exponent. So your number must be between these two values to see it in terms of decimal. Now I'm going Settings, Calc Setting, Number Format, and Norm. And this time I'm selecting 2, all clear. Now 1 divided by 200, you see we are getting number. Now I did this to the power minus 9, and it says false. If it is false, then it will not show it as exponent. And the same way, x should be greater than this, to see it as exponent. Otherwise, you will see the decimal value. So 10 to the power minus 9 has, you see, 8 zeros with 1. 1 divided by 200 is shown properly because in normal 2 we can see it. 1 divided by some big number also was shown like that. All the decimal points, so what you are learning is that if you need all the decimal places, put it in norm 2. Set it in norm 2 and in decimal. Pressing all clear, settings, calc setting, angle unit. And here we can set degree, radian, and gradient. You can go with the arrow up and down. And then once you selected it, let's say radian, and press OK. And all clear you see here are, remember now that the value is in radian, so your calculation will be affected. If I go to calc setting, number format, fix from this button, calc setting number format, and then fix OK. In this screen, I selected fix 3. Let's go to fix 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm coming at the bottom and then all clear. And in this case, if we divide 1 by 6, you will get it with 3 decimal places, while before there was multiple values. Now if we go to calc setting, number format and science, scientific notation calc setting, number format, and the second option scientific notation, from here let's select number 3, SCI 3. And then all clear. Now 1 divided by 6 will show in 3 significant digits and terms of scientific notation, 1, 2, 3. Now let's reset the calculator, so because we changed this so many times, settings reset, initialize. Yes, all clear. Now let's learn about cursor. I'm pressing OK. If I open apprentice like that, 1 divided by 6 plus 6 times, two. And then press equal sign, the result is shown. If I press the left arrow, the cursor shows at the end of the line. But with this page up, page down, with this double arrow key, if I press up, it goes at the beginning of the line. And if I want to press the bottom, it goes at the end of the line. With this arrow, you can go left and right. And if I want to delete any value, let's say when I change 6 to 9, I'm pressing this button. This is delete. And then press equal. The calculation is displayed. Press all clear to exit. Fraction results setting, go to the setting, calc setting, and come down. Fraction result. From here, we can select mixed fraction and improper fraction. We go up and down and we select it. Let's select improper. And OK and AC. Let's now enter this value. 4. This button is for fraction. Over 5 with the arrow go to the right, plus, plus, minus, or at the bottom. Three over 2 and equal. So this is the result of the calculation for this value. The result is shown like that. Now let's change the settings to decimal. Settings, calc settings, input, output. Go to decimal, all clear. And then do the same thing, 4 over 5 with the arrow plus. 3 over. I made mistake and I pressed this return button, 3 over 2. Now if I press equal sign, I'm getting decimal, like that's supposed to be 2.3. Now let's go to math and math out again, settings, calc input, and then math and math out. Okay, all clear. And let's go to fraction results for mixed fraction, settings, calci. Here and then mixed fraction, all clear. Now let's do 4 over 5. Now we are getting in terms of mixed fraction like this. Now let's have a look at the decimal mark. This decimal mark can change to comma or decimal depending on your preference. We go to settings, calc setting. Let's go input. First, let's change it to decimal. So we see the decimal, and then now let's go to settings, calc setting. Come down until you see decimal mark. We could go with this arrow at the top and then quickly to the next screen. The similar mark. Okay, and here on this screen we see dot or comma, whichever you prefer. For example, let's change it to comma because already it was dot. We press OK. And all clear. Now let's do 1 divided by 200. You will see that we can see comma here. And let's go back to dot, settings, calc setting. Decimal mark, dot, all clear. 1 divided by 200, it turned back to dot. And we have digit spacer. For example, every 1,000 we have it. To do the settings, go to the settings, calc setting. Digit spacer, and in here we can see on or off. We can select, let's say select on, and then hit OK and all clear. And then let's enter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and equal, and you can see we have space shown. And here, let me turn it off because I don't want to use it for this tutorial. Off. So the space disappeared. This calculator can turn off automatically, but you can set the time. Let's go to settings. This time, go to system settings, and then auto power off. In this screen you can see 10 or 60 minutes, whichever you prefer. Press OK, and then all clear. we have something called multi-font. Let's go to Settings, System Setting, and then Multiline, Normal or Small. This will work when you select Line in, Line out, and Decimal. Let's select Decimal, small one, all clear. Now this will not have any effect. Let me change it. Go to Settings. As I mentioned, let's go to Input, Output, Line in, Line out, all clear. Now 1 divided by 200. You see it became very small, but you can see multiple line, 6 times 6, square root of 5, divided by 2 or something. So yeah, I shown multiple line. Because we selected small font, let's change it back. System setting, multi-font. Normal, all clear. Now let's have a look at the catalog feature of this calculator. Let's reset the calculator. Shift reset. Why am I resetting it? Because some people jump directly to different section of the video, and their setting will be different, and it will not work. So I assume that people come at the middle of the video. And in this catalog, we can see function, analytics, probability, numeric calculation, hyperbolic, and trigonometric. Tool option is available depending on each app that you use. Let's go to this button and select Table. Now we get Table. Now if I press this button, we see the menu appears. If I go using Home, go to Basic Calculation, this doesn't do anything except undo. Now let's do some basic calculations. 2 times 50 divided by 2, like this. 2 times, this is the times multiplication, or times $50 divided by 2. Now to do 2 times pi, we do. All clear, 2 shift pi. That's 2 pi. If I press equal sign, it's here. Or I can press arrow and continue with something else. Now if you want to enter 3 times 50 divided by 2, we can omit this multiplication and closing parenthesis. And we can enter something like this. 3, open parenthesis. 50 divided by 2 and then equal. Now let's do this calculation. We can do it directly like this. 4 times sine 30. Because we have opening parenthesis, we have to close it. Now multiply. Open parenthesis. 30 plus 10 times 5. And then equal. So in this calculation, as you can see, we can omit all of these. This multiplication, and this closing. And we will enter it directly. Sine, we can enter 4, sine 30, and then close and then open another parenthesis. 3 plus. 10 times 5 and plus equal. Let's see this equation, and we want to change 30 to 45. Let's enter it. This value that already we have, just press left arrow, it comes here. And then press delete, this button located here. And then enter 45, and then equal, and you will get proper value. And if you want to enter, let's say, instead of 4, you want to enter 14, the same way, press left arrow, it appears. And then with this, you can go immediately at the end. And then enter 1, for example, and done. Autocomplete also applies when you enter pi. If you enter 6 divided by 2 pi, it will be displayed like that. Let's do it. 6 divided by shift pi. Sorry. Let's do it. 6 divided by 2 shift 7, 2 pi, and then press equal. As you can see, the parentheses have been added. Let's do this calculation. I'm pressing all clear, shift, because we have now. Let's enter it. We press shift and then button. After that, we press 3. And then with the arrow, go to the right. 1. Go down. 2. Go to the right. Plus, and then shift with this button. Another fraction empty spot. 5. Go to the right. 3. Come down. And 2, and then equal sign, and we got answers. Now to enter this, we press 2 plus, shift, and this is the same negative button with shift. We don't have to worry, and you can see we see plus minus, but because this was special minus, it will not create error. And let's say you enter a value like this, and later on we realize that you need to put a square root around it. Here we have the equation, all clear. Let's do it. 1 plus 7, then fraction, and 2. And you typed it, so the arrow go once and twice. We are here. I'm at this spot, and now we can do shift with the arrow, that means insert. Now special arrow appeared. We can insert something like this square root, and it is under the square root now. Let's say you have square root, and you want to convert it like this, and you made mistake. After inserting it, just let's say you are here at the end. Just press arrow, and then press delete. It becomes 7/2. Now let's do some math conversion. If we do 13/4, and press equal sign, it will give you 13/4 like that, but if you go to Format and Mix Fraction, we can change it from this Format button. Very important. And go to Mix Fraction, and it will be shown like that. Convert it for you. If I want to convert it back to improper format, again, press this format. Go to improper, and it will be converted back. If we are in line in decimal out, let's see, go to Settings, Calc, Input line in decimal out, all clear. Let's enter this value, 1/1/1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I press equal sign, I'm getting something like that. So this has been a fraction. We're getting a decimal value. Let's reset the calculator. Shift, reset. Why am I it? Because some people jump directly to different section of the video, and their setting will be different and it will not work. So I assume that people come at the middle of the video. Now we are in power and roots mode. Let's do this calculation. 2, I'm pressing this button here. To power 5, go to the right plus. 4 to the 4 square, 4 square, we have a dedicated button here, and press equal. You get the result. If you want to do something like this, 5 squared all cubed, then open a parenthesis, 5 squared, and close a parenthesis to the power, and then put 3 here. Cubed. With this section needs your attention. Let's say you want to do something -5 squared. You can do it two ways to get better or the correct result. Let's enter this. All clear. Let's press shift and negative. This is that negative here because in blue color. So I'm pressing shift and that negative, I got it. 5 and then squared. If I press equal, I'm getting -25. Perhaps you expected something else. For that, we need to have parenthesis here. It means square root of -5 in that case. So open parenthesis shift minus, and then 5, close, and then squared. In this case, we are getting correct answer because everything is squared, including the minus sign. Now, if you want to do something like this, open a parenthesis 3 plus 2, and then to the power. Press this button and then enter 2 plus 4. That's the answer. I got space back. If you want to do this equation, something like that square root of 2 plus 2 multiply by a square root of 3. Open a parenthesis, square root, press that, 1, 2, and then with the arrow get out of square root, and then plus 2, and then close it. And then square root of 3. You don't need to. Put the multiplication sign, and it will work. And it will simplify it. The result also depends on the type of format and the selection, because we are in math and math out. So this is the simplified version result. So let's do this one. All clear. I'm in math and math out. I'm checking. Settings, calc setting, math and math out. All clear. Square root of 2. With the arrow come to the right, times 3. Now it has been simplified so that 3 is multiplication. It's brought at the front, which looks maybe better. And if you are in line out mode, let's go settings calc. Line in, line out, all clear, and square root of 2. Close a parenthesis, times 3. This is the answer. For this step, we need to change to math and math out. Go there and select math and math out. Exit. And then if you want to do 5 to the power -1, which is 5/1/5 or inverse. There we do 5. Shift with this button, that is inverse. Or you can also do 1/5, and then equal. It's the same. If you want to convert it to decimal, just go here and that's a decimal format. Now let's change it to line mode. And all clear, the same way let's do 5. We got the result, in line mode as well. Now let's see how we can do 1.23 times 10 to the power 3. So all clear, 1 and then for the point, I'm using this point, and times 10 is this button here. So 0.23, and then times 10. It opens. To the power 3, I can close it and equal because I'm in line mode. It's shown like that. Let's go to math mode. Let's repeat it. 1.23 times 10 to the power 3, and that's the answer. If you want to do 5th root or 3rd or whatever root of something, we press this shift and this button, the same square root with a shift. Please subscribe to my channel and thumb up this video. Your subscription will help my channel to grow. Thank you. Now the format is one of the important feature of this calculator we have to see. First, let's reset the calculator. Settings. Reset. Why am I reasoning it? because some people jump directly to different section of the video, and their setting will be different, and it will not work. So I assume that people come at the middle of the video. So let's divide it 1 by 6, that's the answer. If you want a decimal, press Format. And then you can get so many different formats and we get the value. If you want mixed fraction, the same way, changes settings go. Mixed fraction, and you get the mixed fraction. Let's say pi divided by 6, shift pi divided by 6. We press shift because that's the pi key. And we can do format. O equals sign. If I press equal sign, see the actual value, and then let's say decimal, I'm getting it. 5.5 EXE or equal, mixed fraction, press this button, go next fraction, and you get it as mixed fraction with the format. You can do EXE, it will bring it back, and with this you can continue if you want. We can get also engineering notation. Press all clear 2, 3, 4, 5 and then equal sign or the EXE and press format and select engineering notation. Now it will be presented to the in terms of engineering notation. Now let's see how we can do prime factorization. This calculator can do up to 10 digit of positives. And let's go 6, 7, 5 and then EXE. After that format. And then here we can see prime factor and it has been factored. 3 cubed times 5 squared, 3 to the power, 3 times 5 to the power 2. And if you want sexagesimal, we can do that. 1, 25.326 plus equal, and then press format. Go and get sexagesimal value. This will be shown in terms of degree, minute, and seconds. Now let's see how we can use memory feature of this calculator. Sometimes let's say you want to do, let's say 35 plus 444, and then you want to use 1000 plus the result of the previous calculation. In this case, let's put it this way. We want to do the result of this calculation in our next calculation, so all clear. 35 plus 444. And then we use 1000 minus answer. And for answer, this is the key, which will give you the last answer, and then press equal. That is the value of previous calculation, which was this 497, so it brought 497 and subtracted it for us. This calculator has a BCDEF. These are a memory name with X, Y, and Z, where you can store values into these. And to access them, we press this memory X with arrow N and arrow out, which means you can write and read. So all clear. If I press it, you will see it's all empty. Let's say we want to put 3 plus 5 into A, or whatever calculation we have. So here, 3 plus 5 EXE. After that, we press this button, store, and we have to select, let's say, A. We can go up and down. I'm selecting A and press EXE or OK. This screen will show up and we say store, recall, or edit, store, and OK, or EXE. Now that value have been stored in the memory. If I press this button, it shows that it has 8 or any other memory that you want. You can have a look at it. Press all clear to exit. Now let's store 777 into B777 equal sign, and then this button go to the right, and press EXE, and then store I press it twice, and we have it. Now, let's say we want to make B equal 100. For that, press this button, go to B, and then OK, and here, we can select Edit, and enter new value, 100, and then equal. Now we have been changed the same way you can change any other value. To recall B or bring B, press this button, go to B, and here when you press OK, it says recall. You can press OK or EXE, that's our B. So in this case, I can press equal sign to see it, or I can continue times, let's say time times 6, or do something with it. Like this if you want to clear the memory. All clear, press settings. Select reset, and here variable memory, go there and it will tell you which one variable memory reset. Okay, yes. Now let's see. If I go and check it, it's all 0. Now let's have a look at a function analytics. Let's say you want to do log of 1,000. When you say log 1,000, that's the same as log base 10 of 1,000. Because when you don't write the base for the log, it's log base 10. So we go to catalog here, and then function, logarithm, which says log, not log AB, and here it will ask you, so 1,000, and that's the answer. If you want to do log base 2 of 16, the answer is 4, so we can do log here. This button, all clear, log base 2 of 16. That's the answer. But also you can do it with a functionality from catalog. Press this button. Function, and then here log a B. Log it has A and B. It will now allow you to, with the arrow, go here, and you get the same result. Natural logarithm or ln. Un algorithme naturel, logarithme natural, whatever it is in French perhaps. So for that, we use this ln, shift this button, and 90, that's natural logarithm. Now let's do some percentage calculation. The first way would be 20% of 150, if you want to find it. Then here is how we do. We do 20 times 150, and then catalog. Go to probability, and percent is already there. Just press OK, that brings percentage sign, and then EXE or OK will give you the answer. Now there is a second way. 15 is what percent of 150. For that we use 15 times 100, and then divided by 150, that's 10. The third way the question will be presented is 30 is 20% of what value? In that case, 30 times 100 divided by 20. That is the answer. Now let's go to see how we can increase a value, or let's say percentage to a value. And here it says increase 2,500 by 15%. All clear. 2,500 plus 2,500 times 15, and bring the percent. To catalog probability. And okay, so we bring the percent. So what it means is that this is the original amount, and 15%. So if you remember from previous step, this is the 15%, this portion. So we are adding 15% to that value. Simple as that. And if somebody says discount 3,500 by 25%, exactly the same as before from the original amount, get the 25% and subtract it. All clear. 3,500 minus 3,500 times 25, catalog probability, percent, and then equal sign. And that's the answer. Now let's see how we can do factorial. Factorial is such that you put a number with exclamation mark, and factorial 3 means multiply from 1 up to this number. So because this is 3, 1 times 2 times 3. To do that, we type 3, go to catalog, and then come here until you see factorial. Go to probability, and then factorial. You see the factorial sign, and that's the answer. And if you want to do and 12 factorial, go to catalog, probability factorial, and you see its huge number, because 1 times 2 times 3 up to 12. Now let's solve permutation and combination example with this calculator. So NCR, this is the total number, and we choose this many numbers. If the question says pick 6 out of 49, that means 49 choose. 6, we will type it like this. We type 49, and then catalog, go select probability, and then combination, and then type 6, and then at the end, press equal, or X, and that's the answer. All clear. If you want to solve something with permutation, for example, pick 6 out of 49 balls, using permutation, this is a formula, and for that, let's use the same thing, 49. Catalog, probability, permutation, so we see 49, permutation, so 49 pick 6, and that's the answer. And here's a question where it says how many 4 digits you can produce using 1 to 7 to understand the question. If to understand the question and give you an example, I used ChatGPT and I wrote that write a Python program to take 2 parameters for permutation N and R and prints all possible values. And it provided me the Python. When I run it, there was no numbers, so I asked that the code should also print some counting. And when I pasted it and run the code, let's try it. Let me increase the font size so you can see it. So enter a value for N, 7, and we want to pick 4. And when I enter it, so the Python program that ChatGPT wrote, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. And it goes on because I've asked this to have numbered in Python, so all. This is, by the way, it uses permutation library from Python, and here all possible values are printed and we get 840 possible ways. It's do it in calculator. And here let's solve it, so we type 7 catalog probability and then go P for permutation and select P4, so 840. As you can see, ChatGPT was working perfectly and the program was amazing. This calculator can be used to generate numbers. For example, you can generate a number between 0 to 0.999. Result is fraction when you are in math out mode. To generate 3-digit integer. Because it's 3-digit, we multiply it by 1,000. So we type 1,000 and then catalog. Go to probability and then random number generator. Come down. Random number. Now we got the value because the value has been multiplied. If I press this equal sign repeatedly, I get different value. If I go back here and then delete 1,000, then you see that we are getting something like that. If I press in terms of decimal, we have to multiply it by 1,000 to make it the number that you just saw. Now this is another example to generate three-digit integer between two specific values like 1 to 17. For that, we go to Random Number Generator. For that, we press Catalog, Probability. Random integer, not random number, random integer, and here we can enter 1, shift, and then comma. This is our comma here. And then 17, let's do it without closing. And every time I press equal sign, it generates different number, but within the range. Now let's see how we can solve for greatest common divisor, or GCD, and least common multiple LCM. GCD determines greatest common divisor for two values. For example, GCD of 28 and 35. To solve it, we press Catalog and the numeric calculation. And here we select GCD. In this case, we need 28, 35. We just type 28, shift comma, decimal point comma, and then 35. Close it, and we got 7. LCM is least common multiple of two values. Let's say the same of 9 and 15. So let's put 9. Press Catalog, go to Numeric Calculation, LCM 9. Shift comma, 15, and then equal. That's the least common multiple. If you want to get absolute value, in math we write it absolute with two vertical line, 2 minus 7. As you can see, 2 minus 7 is minus 5. If you want to get absolute value in this calculator, we say abs 2 minus 7, and it will give you 5. So absolute value will give you the actual magnitude, not in terms of sign or symbol, it gives you pure number. In terms of magnitude, to do that, we press Catalog and the numeric calculation, absolute value, and then here, we can put 2 minus 7 and then press equal sign, it will solve it for us. If you're doing in terms of line, let's go setting, input line in line out, all clear. And if you forgot this is how we do it, now let's do the same thing. Catalog, number calculation, absolute value. You see it has changed, so 2 minus 7. Because of the line, those two vertical line disappeared. Let's go back to math and math out, shift calc. All clear. Now we have something called recurring decimal value, and here as you can see this 0, and after that, as you see from here, 0, 2, 1, in this case 0, 2, 1, 0 to 1 has been repeated. So we will have this dot on top of it, informing you that it is a recurring decimal value. So to do that, or enter it, 3 point, and then we press shift. And this button, that's for reoccurring value, and then 0 to 1, press equal. Now this will show that this has been reoccurred. If I go with a format, if I press this format and go to decimal, you can see 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 0 to 1, and forever it continues. If we want to do some calculation like this, now let's do some calculation like that, plus 3 point. Zero, 2, 1. Oh. Sorry, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and here is the answer. Now let's see how we can convert polar and rectangular coordinates one to the other. So we have polar and rectangular. For rectangular also we have another name called Cartesian. First set the unit to degree. This is degree if not press setting, calc setting, angle unit. And then degree. Make sure degree is selected. You see it's fixed. Let's reset our calculator. Let's reset the calculator shift reset. Why am I resetting it? Because some people jump directly to different section of the video, and their setting will be different and it will not work. So I assume that people come at the middle of the video. And it is in degree. Here is a question. Now in this example, we have a theta, which is 36.8 degrees, the angle, and then we have r, the magnitude. We want to find x and y are the value from this 0 up to here. We want to see the tip of this arrow is located at which point in x-axis and in y, and in which point at y-axis. We press catalog and then go angle coordinates and here and press equal. After that, we want to select pole to rect. This is rect to pole and then pole to rect. And then we enter R, which is 6, and then comma, we learn the comma in previous section shift, and then this button, and then 36.8 for point. I enter this 36.8. And then we can close it and equal. We got the answer here. X is 4.8 and something. And then if I go with the arrow, this arrow shows that we have more. So we can get better result. And in terms of maybe format doesn't work here. I press the format. So we can set it to line mode, set calculator settings, calculator, and then go line in, line out, all clear. Now let's try this catalog rectangle. Polar to rectangle, 6 shift comma, 36.8. Now if I press equal sign, it will show beautiful results, something like that. Okay, in this example, we are going to find we have x and y. X is 4 and x-axis, and then y is -5. It's below this line, -5. So we want to find theta and r. This theta and r, remember r is below and theta is there. So we want to use rectangular to polar because we have x and y, and we want to find the polar value. So press catalog, go down to angle and rectangular, now rect to pole, and here let's enter for minus. So for x4, shift comma, and then -5 and close it. Now we got r is equal 6.4, and theta is -51. Remember the result depends on this setting, the unit is degree. Now here is example number 3. We have r and theta. We want to find x and y. As you can see, the theta is here and r is there. Y is below the x-axis, and x is also on the left side. So for that, we have to remember that theta is this theta, 50 degrees. Okay. And from here to here is 90. And then we have 90 degrees, which is 180, and plus this 50. So the total theta is 50 plus 90 plus 90. We have to do it that way. We want to find polar to rectangle. Go, and then pole to rectangle. I selected it, and here's r is 6, shift comma, and here you could also add them together if you want it. For example, 90 plus 90 plus 50. You could do that and you get the answer. And you get the answer x minus 3.8 and y is minus 4.59. Now let's see how we can do sine, cosine, and tangent the trigonometric functions. Let's reset the calculators. shift reset. Why am I reasoning it? Because some people jump directly to different section of the video, and their setting will be different and it will not work. So I assume that people come at the middle of the video. Okay, all clear. So the angle unit is set to degree. We are setting it to degree, and if you don't know how to set it, press this button and then first option, and then angle unit, and then make sure go up and down and select degree. When I press equal sign, I'll refer to that button. Let's say you want to get cosine of 8.3 plus cosine 8.3, and then equal. And then sine of 42, sine 42, and if you want to do sine of pi over 2 radian, all clear. Sine of you can put pi over 2, and that because it's in terms of radian, we can put here the angle radian, so this means pi over 2 radian, close it, and we get the answer. So let's go for line in, line out settings. Line in, line out, this has been explained so many times. Find out the angle. So we use sine inverse in this case, all clear, press shift, and the same sign is now. Inverse 0.8, and it will give you the angle, which is 53 degrees. The same thing, we have a right angle triangle, and angle, the sine of the angle is 0.34. To find the angle, shift, cosine of 0.34. That's the angle if you want to do hyperbolic function. We press this catalog, all clear. Catalog, and then go up and down, in this case down, and we will see hyperbolic and trig in this case, and then we can see sine hyperbolic, cosine hyperbolic, or tan hyperbolic, and let's say you want to do sine hyperbolic of 5.3. 5.3, that's the answer. The same way we can have inverse of sine and cosine and tangent hyperbolic. Let's say inverse of something, catalog, go down, hyperbolic, inverse sine hyperbolic of 100, which will give you the number. Now let's see how we can convert the values between degree, minute, and second. These are called sexagesimal, and let's say 1.25, and then equal sign. We can use the format button here. I'm pressing format, and then go down. Sexagesimal, and here it gives you degree, minute, and second in terms of sexagesimal. And if you want to convert this to other values or to decimal. So here is how we enter it. So 2, shift, and then plus plus is here for degree, minute, and second. Every time we need it, I'm going to press that. 2 degrees, and then plus 50, again shift, the same button. Minute plus 30, shift, and the same, and then XE, that's a value. If you want to get it to decimal, press format, go decimal, and it will give you the decimal value. Now let's say you want to add 2 degrees 50 minutes and 30 seconds plus 9 minutes and 30 seconds, there is no degree, then you have to add your own 0 before this to make it work. Now let's do it. The same thing, so let's go back here. I'm adding plus 0, shift, degree, 9 minute and 30 seconds. Syntax error. Oh, I didn't put the symbol, shift. Now we are getting the proper value. Now if we want to convert this to decimal, the same way we don't have the degree. So we have to add degree, 0, shift degree, 0, shift degree, 25 minutes, and 36-second, and then equal sign. And if you want to convert it to a decimal press format, get decimal. That's a value. Now 9 degree and 18 seconds to decimal. So we know there is a minute missing. So we enter 9 degrees, 0 minute, and 36 seconds. Sorry, 36. Seconds and press equal sign. If you want to convert it to decimal, press format. We are getting it. And if I want more format, press format and then go here. Hexadecimal. Now let's see how we can do angle conversion. First, let's reset the calculator. Let's reset the calculator's shift. Reset why am I listening it? Because some people jump directly to different section of the video, and their setting will be different, and it will not work. So, I assume that people come at the middle of the video so we can convert between degrees, radian, and gradient. Example 1, we want to convert 2 pi radian to degrees. First, set the unit to degree. Make sure it is in degree. The result that you want that value should be set in. So go to Settings. And then Angle Unit. And if it's not selected, go to Degree and All Clear Exit. Now 2 pi 2, Shift 7. It will give you 2 pi and then Catalog. And then Angle Coordinate. And then select radian. We want 2 pi radian to degree, degrees. The value, just press equal sign. You get the degree. 270. 2 radian. Now it's degree. We want it in radian. So first set to radian shift. Calc setting. Angle unit radian. All clear, all clear. 270. Catalog. Angle. Degree to radian, because the radian is already there. So this is a value. If you want a decimal value, again, use format. I'm pressing format, select decimal to get the decimal value. Now let's see how we can create a custom function and use it in our calculator. Let's reset the calculators. Shift reset. Why am I resetting it? Let's press home. And if you're somewhere else, just go there regular. Calculation, so we can have f of x, and we can have custom g of x, and we can evaluate it for whatever value we want. Now let's see how we can type x on the screen. To print x, we just press this button, x. It will be x. And if you want to make it squared, just press this button. After pressing that, so it will be x squared. Now let's register f of x equal x squared plus 1. Press this button here. And go to define f of x. And here now we will enter this value, x squared plus 1, and then equal. Once you press this equal sign or xe, don't worry, it's already saved. Now we want to Now, to perform calculations with f of 5, which means x is equal 5, so we put here 5. And so, we press f of x here, and then select up and down the first one, f of x, and here it asks you for the value exe, or okay, then we put 5. And then exe. I press equal sign and evaluate it. If you want to change 5 to 7, just use this arrow and then use this delete button and then let's say 7 and it will be done. Now let's see how we can insert f of x into g of x and create g of x equal f of x times 2 minus x, all clear. Press this button. Go define g of x. When you are in g of x process at the SI stage. In here we press this button again, it will bring you f of x. Press OK, f is there. X and then close it times 2x plus x times 2x plus x. And then press EXE. That's done. Now let's evaluate the g of x with g at 8. So press this and select g of x. Now we enter 8. But it's equal, and it has been evaluated with the function. Let's turn this off. Press Shift off. It is turned off. And let's turn it on. Press this button. Let's go to this function and see if it is. As you can see, it has been deleted. If I go to g of x, it has been deleted. Now let's see how we can use QR code. With this calculator, Q means quick, R mean response. We can use this with smart devices. And you need your phone. And let's say you want to enter a value on our calculator and generate a QR code, something like this, where we can scan it with our smart device, tablet, phone, or whatever it can scan. And so that you will enter the value, it generates QR code, it goes to the phone and use a camera. Once you scan it, it will take you to the ClassPad net of Casio. First, settings. System setting, and then QR code. We can set version 3 or version 11. It has been selected. Now let's create an equation and then create QR code. One way would be to use table, and let's go with a tool. Define f of x, let's say 2x, and then squared. I press this button, plus 5x minus 2. And then press equal. Now we are generating the table. I've explained this before, so table range, let's say from -1 to 5, I'm pressing. That going down with step of 1, and this has created the value. Now we can create QR code for this. So just press this blue key and then QR. Now this is the QR code. I am opening my phone and then going here. And as you can see it, I'm opening it in Microsoft Edge. It goes to the Casio web page, and it creates a graph for my equation that we have entered. In here, the range is from -1 to 5 that we set, and we can change our equation. We can play with this. We can set the axis, the value, whichever value you want. So if you want to zoom in, zoom out, you see I just zoomed out. And you can move the function, so this is on the phone, the same way then you can share this with friend or with someone. Now let's change the equation. I'm just defining different equation. And let's just make it 2 sine x, and then let's generate the QR code. And let me scan it. So this is the 2 sine x. Amazing, we got straight line. Let's see, because that range that we saw was not showing up. So here you go. This was how to use the QR code. Now let's create table of value with this calculator. Press Home, and then go to Table. Press OK. We can create two functions, and with the two function, we can create a table something like this. Let's say you have one function f of x, and this is g of x. And you want to evaluate both functions, or one of them with x value, with certain step, and initial values. Initial and certain steps. So to enter x, as I shown you before, press this button, it will print x. And for a square, we use this one. So I don't have to show you. First press Tools, this 3 dots, 2 to Table Type. If this is one function, go up, and select f of x, g of x, and press AC. So we have now f of x and g of x. We got two columns. Let's define f of x, 2x squared plus 1 plus 1, 3 dot, and here define 2x squared plus 1. And then exe or equal. It has been defined. Let's define g of x. Tools, define, and then go to define g of x, and then x squared, minus 5x plus 3, and then equal. The function have been defined. Now to generate table, we have to set our table range. Tools, table range is a top one, press OK, start is 1. And then 1, 5, and then press equal sign, 1, and then equal. When you see at the end, execute, press OK, and here are the values based on the function f of x, and we got f of x and g of x. With these values of x, we can store any of these values that we have, and to memory, for example, you can store the value to memory B. Let's say you go with the left and right and find the value that you want. Press this button, and then go to B. This was a memory. Go to B and press equal, and select store. And this have been stored, done. Remember, for f of x, we can have up to 45. If we have f of x and g of x, if we have two functions, then total number of rows will be 30. We can update the function by pressing this button and define f of x, and then here we can do minus 6x, like that. Press equal, and the value is already updated as soon as I press enter. To insert a new row, we can go up and down. Let's say this row. At this row, press Tools, Edit, and then insert row, new row inserted. If I enter 65, all the values will be calculated for f of x and g of x. Also move cursor to the row and press. You can do it also to the row, let's say to this row, and press this plus. Let's see. As soon as I press plus, this here, the end one row above, plus. Plus, as you can see, this is adding plus. So it just increments one more value based on the table range that you set. To delete a row, bring the cursor, and then press this delete. It will delete it. Let's go delete one more. To delete all, press this button, edit, and then delete all. Everything have been deleted. The data retention, you have to pay attention. that the data will be deleted a certain condition. For example, the numbers in the table right now, there is nothing, but if it was it will be deleted. If I go with a home, so discarded, discarded. So home power settings and 3 dots. So this table will be very helpful. Now let's see how we can do statistical calculation with this calculator. Let's reset the calculator, shift reset. Why am I reasoning it? Because some people jump directly to different section of the video and their setting will be different and it will not work. So I assume that people come at the middle of the video. Now we can display 1 column like this, or 2 column with frequency, or 3 column on the screen. So that's the maximum that we can do with this calculator. If we have 1 column, we can have 160 rows. If we have 2 columns, we can have 80 rows of information. If we have 3 columns, then we can have 53 rows of information. We can have single variable and dual variable regression, linear regressions, like this quadratic regression, logarithmic regression, exponential A-B regression, power regression, inverse regression. Let's just try it. Press home and then go with the arrow to the statistics and press equal. And let's select 2 variable. For now, go down and press OK. And then let's turn off the frequency, press tools, and then go down to frequency and turn it off. After that, press all clear and you will see the frequency column disappeared. Now let's enter this pair of data. We have X and Y, separated with comma. So we will enter, because we are on already in X. Press 7 and then I'm pressing equal. It goes to the next one. For the equal, I press EXE, and then 179, and then equal, then 173 and equal. Now, we press the arrow down, it rotates, it goes at the top. This is very useful when you have very long list. It goes easily at the top, and then go to the right. We are in Y, and now we have 66. And then equal, 75 equals 68, and then equal. So we have all the data, and then press OK, and we are exiting from that screen, and we see this screen. Here to select 2 variable result. We will see all the calculation that is needed for 2 variables. We can go up and down with this page or with the arrow so we can review the information. Here we have summation, sum squared, mean, population standard deviation, population variance, population standard deviation. Number of items, minimum, maximum, median, first quartile, third quartile, and so forth. So press all clear, we are here. Now to delete a row. We just bring the cursor to where you want, let's say this one. Move the cursor, and then press this delete, and it will be delete. 1 row have been deleted. To insert a row, let's say you want to go in here and insert something. Press tools, edit, insert row, and 1 empty row have been added, so you can add something like that. To delete all data, press tools, go edit, and delete all. It will empty the whole table. Now let's go to statistics. Selected, and this time select 1 variable. If there was data, it will ask you to delete. Say yes. Now because we don't have data, let's go and turn on the frequency, press tools, frequency, and then go down, turn it on. All clear to exit. Now we have another column for frequency, another column for frequency. Now we are entering x values and then frequency. First x12 up to 6, or more even, 1, and equal sign, or xe. So I'm pressing that 2xe, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's see, we have 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. Once you reach at the bottom, then press this arrow down. It rotates at the top, and number 1, and go to the right. And here we will enter frequency 1, 2, 1, 1 equal, 2 equal, 1 equal, and the 2, 2, 2, 2 equal, 2 equal, 2 equal, and then 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2. So this was supposed to be 10. Maybe I missed it. So now we have all the data. Now to see the result, just press OK. You will see this screen. In this screen, select one variable result. And these are all the variables that you can see. Go with the page up and down to see minimum, maximum. To return to the data, we just press this button. We come back to the data. Let's go now to variable, press this button, and again now this time to variable, and you see it says clear data, select yes. Now we want to turn off the frequency, tools, frequency, and then off. All cleared. The column disappeared. Now let's enter all these values. 1, 1.2, 1.5, for x1, 1.2, 1.5, and then 1.6, 1.9, 1.6, 1.9, equal, 2.1 equal, and then 2.4, 5, 7, 2.4, 2.5, and 2.7, so we are at 10, and then 3. We go down. It rotates to the top, goes 1 and then 1, 1.1, 1.3, 1, 1.1, equal. I'm pressing this equal if you forgot. And then 1.3, equal 1.3, again 1.4, 1.5. 2.5. 1.7, 1.82. So all the data have been entered. Press OK. We will come back to this result and then select to variable. And with this arrow, again we can go up and down to see the result. As before. Now we press all clear. We come to this screen. And then OK. This time we can go to regression. Result, reg result. And then select A plus B. And OK, so here is the result for the linear regression. This is y is equal plus bx. And as you can see, the values are also shown. To return, we press this button, or AC all clear. So we return back to this. Press OK. Now go back to regression result. This time select this quadratic, which is to the power 2. And here are the results for that. And then return, we can back here, and press OK. This time select statistics calculation, and select a linear, which is that one. So now we see this screen. It shows you that you are in statistics calculation. It's linear. The equation is also shown. Very nice. So let's get summation. Go to this catalog, and then statistics, and then the first one, summation. Now the summation is here. If I press OK or equal sign, you will see the value. Or we can go with the arrow and do something. Times 2. or I don't know, square it, or whatever you want, you can do with it. Or we can save it. To save it, to any variables, A, B, C, D, E. F, X, Y, and Z, these are available. Already explained it. Let's say you want to store equal sign to see it. After equal sign, the value is here. We can store it also. Store it in A. Has been stored. All clear. To see it, press here, and you will see 19.9. All clear. So this is for that. Let's go summation. X squared. Summation of X squared into B. To bring it, statistics, summation, and this one, press equal until you see the information here. Press the memory, go to B and store, and OK, it has been stored. But to see it again, press this button. You see EA and B have those values. Let's get mean. All clear. Press this button, statistics, mean, and then here X bar, that's mean, so we can have it. If I press equal sign, you will see it. Now we can also use the values from the regression to do some calculation. For example, determine, or we can say you want to see the coefficient AB and correlation coefficient R and this equation, so we are in here. To return to the editor, we press this button or press AC. And statistic calculation, I was already in the screen, but I'm following that. Okay. I select statistical calculation, so we are back here. So let's say we want to get regression. Press a catalog. Statistics, regression, and from here we can get coefficient A, and we can see it as well. I press this equal sign or store it in a memory. To return, we just press this, press catalog. Statistics, regression, and coefficient B as well. We can see it. Now to see the two variable result, press this button, go to variable result, and this is the two variable result. To display regression, all clear. And then statistics, all clear. And then catalog, statistics, and then you can select regression. And you see the values. Press this button. Select regression type and then go to quadratic. Now you are in this screen. So the same, as you can see here, then let's determine y hat when x is equal to 5.5 using the regression equation resulted from the data. Statistical calculation, so we go back to the table. We are here, press OK, and then statistic. A calc, come here, and then A plus. Now let's do the 5.5 catalog, statistics, regression. And then y hat, and then press equal, and that's the result. We are not here, so we are here. Press this button, edit, and then delete all. So delete all appears when you see the data table. Now let's see how we can do ratio calculation with this calculator. Press home and then go down ratio. And so this one lets you determine x, and this type of we have 1 ratio A to B and then equals to x to D. Or the other way, A to B equals C to X. So in this case, we can find X if we have the 3 other values. And one example for me was that sometimes people don't know how to prepare a photo to watch it on television to properly fit, because most of the TVs are 16 by 9. Here, how we can do it. The width is 16. The height is 9. This is just a ratio, it's not inch or anything. And the older TV was 4 by 3. That was 4 and 3. And let's say if you want to set a photo on 16 by 9, if width is 3,200, so we have 3,200, what should be the height in order for the picture to fit? So the width is 3,200, and the height we don't know. So let's press the ratio, and OK. Now in this case, we will select this one. And then equal, 9 equal. 3,200 equal. If I press equal, I get the value, which is 1,800, so the picture should be 3,200 by 1,800, which we found. To change the format to decimal, if this is not decimal, just press this format button and then go decimal, you will get a decimal value. To make another calculation, press EXE or equal, and now we can enter our ratio and do the calculation. To return and change the ratio, press this. You can go up and down and select new ratio type. You can save the value to variable of memory, let's say this is 16, 9, 1,800, and the value should be 3,200, and you want to store it into memory B. This is in here, press this button, go to B, and it says store. Okay, and it has been stored. Now if I press this button, you see that B is 3,200, the rest are empty. Let's use the math box. In the math box, we have apps, such as rolling a dice, coin tossing, number line, and circle. For example, you can do 100 roll of 2 dice. Let's go for the math box, press home. If it was in here, press home, go math box, press OK. And you'll see this screen. Let's select dice roll, press OK. Now you will be asked to select number of dice, let's say 2. And then number of attempts, let's say 100. And press OK, I'm pressing EXE. And confirm. Now same result off. And then execute. Include it and then execute. Now it's rolling. 2 dice, and from this screen we select list to view it. Now this is dice A, that's B, and we have some here. For example, 6 plus 2 is 8, and the difference 4 because of 6 minus 2. And also you will see it like that, so each row is displayed. Press this button, we can go back, we can see relative frequency. And then let's say sum of the relative frequency, it will give you the values. From here we can select and see. That's a frequency, which means 2 appeared 5 times, 3 8 times, and so forth with 100 attempts. And relative frequency. Are these values? You can see it larger in here when you bring the screen and the cursor. Go back. And this time. Relative frequency and select difference. When you select difference, then this is a difference of relative frequency. So what is same result? So the same result is useful when you have class and you want to have the same settings for all calculators. So if you select that and this calculator is available with 5 or 10 or more than one students, all will have the same result. We can do also coin toss, press home, go math box. And then select coin. Toss. Now we can have number of coins, number of attempts. And then same result, we don't care because we are not using in a school. So 1, 5. These to change the 1, you can do 1, 2, 3 coins. And number of attempts, let's say 20 times, confirm, and then go down and press execute. Now this is tossing the coin. And let's select the list. So this is coin A, coin B, and head and tail is shown with empty black or white. So you can see here A, B, and then the coin. And it's counting at how many times. So there is no head. It shows how many times head. 1 time, that's twice. That's 1 time, and so forth. So this just counts the head. For example, you can do toss of 3 coins. Press this button, go here. And then the first one, coin press. 3. And 20. And then execute. We have the list now. Here it shows ABC, and then the result, the sum of head or tail, whatever you call it. So relative frequency, press this button, go to relative frequency, and here it shows the frequency, head and tail 4 times with comparing that. The side head. 4 times in total, and the relative frequency is 0.2. Let's have a look at the number line that we have. We have a number line for x smaller than a, x smaller or equal. You see this doesn't have equal. We have equal here, x greater than a, and all these combinations. And the value that you have for a would be this value. Let's go to math and then math box. Select number line. We press OK. And this screen will come. We have to select smaller or equal, press OK. And then we enter the value minus 1.5. Plus equal and confirm. So we have entered. And then for x greater than 0.1, we will enter it into B. OK. And then x is greater. And here, select it, and then we enter. We enter the value minus 1 and confirm. Now for the C, we enter these values, okay? And we select x is greater than a and smaller equal than b, go down. This is the one, press OK, and then for A, we press minus 2. And for B, we press minus 0.25, minus 0.25, and then OK, and confirm. So once we have all the values, press execute, and here is our line. This is highlighted, and it shows the value of A is smaller than minus 1.5. If I scroll down, it goes to this line, B is greater than minus 1. And if I bring it this, line X is greater than minus 2, and smaller than minus 0.25. And we can go up and down with these or this arrow key. When you see the arrow means continuity. When you see the dot, it means inclusion, for example. This means included minus 1.5. You see minus 1.2, 1.5 is in here, and then in this line. So that is included, and this is non-inclusion. So this is not included. In this case, to exit, we press this button, we come back. Now let's change the value x between minus 2 and 2.5 to minus 1.5 to this value. So this value, I'm pressing this, edit, and then this should be minus 1.5. Equal, and this should be minus 0.5, 0.5, and then confirm, and then execute. Now our line has changed. This line has been extended now. Now this line shows the range. We can change the range to show what is the minimum maximum. So this is now fitting on the screen. You can make it smaller if you want. We press this Tools, and then we select a view or view reset. In here, scale center should be at what value? Let's say if I scale it at 1 and then minus 0.2 and then execute, minus 0.2 is at the middle, minus 2 is at the middle, and this is a scale that is shown. Now let's do the circle. We press Home, and the math box, in this case we select Circle. When we select circle, we can have unit circle, something like this with 2 theta, theta 1, theta 2, or we can have half circle, so we can have angles with sine and cosine and tangent. Or we can have a clock, to show the clock and also the angle between hands. Let's select it. I select the circle, unit type, and press OK, and then let's select unit circle. Theta 1, 40 degrees, and let's say 40, and then press X, and pressing this X. And for Q, 2135, and then XE, and then execute. So now this is shown. Pay attention to this angle. If it is radian, the value will be in terms of radian. Now it's in degree. I can move. I can go up and down. To see theta 2 is 135. Go up theta 1, and then sine of theta 1 is 0.64 at this 40 degrees. And cosine of 1 and tangent of theta 1, if you want to go to the second one, you see sine, cosine, and tangent. And you see square root of 2 over 2. It's shown like that because we have used this one. But if I go to settings, hum setting doesn't work here. If we change it in different value, you will see fraction. Let's just do it home. And then and then make it a line in like that, and then press this, go to my box, and then circle unit circle, and then make this 40. 135. And execute. As you can see, the values have changed to just the similar value, so these are not exact. The previous one were exact values, which you can select. Now let's see how we can select half circle. Press Home Math box. And then circle, and this menu, press OK, and then half circle. And the same as before, we enter quone 35, and then equal, and then 150 for Q2. And after that, execute. And here's the same as before. We are seeing sin, cosine, and tangent. If I press up, it goes down to quone and then cone 35 degrees. So you can see the angle with sine, cosine, and tangent of that angle. Now let's see how we can do clock. Press home and then this button and then come down. And in here, select clock. And then just execute. You will see the clock here. Now you can go up and down, and the time will change. So if I go up, it will be 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock angle is 30 degrees. Kyone and kyone is 100, 330. And that theta 1 is smaller than theta 2, so go up, you see the angles. For each angle, we can see it, so this is a good tools to play with. Now let's have a look at errors that this calculator is showing. If you see syntax error, it means format of writing is not respected. If you see math error, the range is exceeded, for example, divided by 0. If you see stack error, the capacity stack is giving you like number of rows in a table. If you see argument error format of writing like sign with opening and then maybe you did not close it if there was something else after that. Range error where it's about the table. Upper, lower value that you enter. And step. And then not define when the calculation doesn't have f of x or g of x. And now let's have a look at how we can replace the battery. For both of these batteries, we can replace them when the sign shows on the screen that it for this 85 because it has solar cell. The battery is LR44, it's out of the battery. For the CW for this one, we have A battery. So here I removed it. And the battery is AA, the head is on this side. Simply place your battery and close it. And insert it and then put this back. It doesn't need any trick or anything, you just put it and power off. Shift off. Make sure to reset it, turn on settings. Reset. Initialize all, yes. And okay, so the calculator is good. Now let's have a look at the technical information. The 32 digits on the screen and the calculation ranges from this value to this, or plus minus 1 a 10 digit for precision. For exponential display, plus minus 1 with the least significant digit, and here are all of the specs. So here are all the values and input ranges. And here are the specifications for these two calculators. Thank you for watching Equaser videos. Please subscribe to my channel and thumb up this video. Your subscription will help my channel to grow. Thank you. If you have comment or questions, please write it below. I will try to answer and reply.